Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everybody out there, YouTube land. This is Moz coming to you with another episode of Moz's Toy Photography. Today we have Instagram's Sunset Doom. Now, this is a friend of Harold's. He recommended that I bring him on, and I looked over his work, and I was like, we definitely got to get this guy on. So, without further ado, let's get in Sunset Doom. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, man? Thanks for having me on here.
Thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it. We should have Harold here shortly, but not yet. Obviously, he's whatever he's doing. Maybe he's feeding the ducks. I don't know. I'm gonna bring this music in. Hold on. A little background tunes. So there we go. So, Sunset Doom. Is that what we call you, or would you rather me go calling you a different name while we're here?
And my name's Andrew, but I
Andrew?
mean, if you want to call me Doom, if you want to call me Andrew,
Whatever you're comfortable with, man. Whatever you got. I'm comfortable on the internet going by Moz. So, because it's the internet, you never know what kind of creepy people. I mean, like this Dom Prime guy, he's kind of creepy. Dom Prime in the house, CT603, JC, and of course our first in the chat today, Noble Young. How you guys doing? We got 12 watching those, so make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already subscribing, and of course, comment down below if you're watching this on the replay, and or share it with your friends. Let them learn some stuff. So Andrew, how long have you been doing toy photography? I know we touched on this a little bit, but they weren't here.
I've been doing toy photography since 2012.
All right, that's a lot longer than I've been doing it. I've been doing it since 2019, so it's big difference, and it shows, man. So your work is phenomenal. I love it.
I do appreciate that. I started. I mean, the very first photo that I did was with it was a static Woody character from Toy Story in a cardboard box with my light source was a heat lamp that you use for lizard cages.
That's an interesting choice.
So,
I don't know if I would have gone to that first. I probably would have been like, do I have a desk lamp anywhere?
yeah. I tried a lot of different things, and that seemed to be the only thing that really captured what I was trying to get at the moment. But that was my very first photo. My second photo was another. It was a static Hulk figure, and it was from the kids show. So it was very cartoony, and he was basically trying to intimidate Rex from Toy Story. So I've come quite a ways from then.
Well, now you do almost primarily Star Wars, but a little bit of Marvel Legends and Black Series, because I do see some Marvel shots in there as well. So it looks like that's pretty much your wheelhouse where you're comfortable. Do you touch like Mezco at all? I mean, they're also 112, so a bit pricier there.
I have been looking at some Mezco. I do have the Black Panther Mezco.
Oh, okay.
I only have one shot with him. I don't know. I just haven't really found the right settings for him quite yet. But he's a very, very, very good figure. Beautiful figure. Just really kind of just biding my time with shooting with him.
And then you said you have one hot toy? Is that right?
I have one that I bought.
What hot toy do you have? What is your one hot toy?
So it is the boss from Metal Gear Solid 3.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I'm a huge Metal Gear Solid fan from 97 to now. I've played every Metal Gear game except for Portable Ops.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm a huge Metal Gear fan. And the boss is my favorite character, of course, besides Big Boss and Solid Snake. But yeah, whenever I found her for a pretty good deal on I think it was a Hong Kong website. and I could not resist. It was almost an immediate purchase.
Okay, so the chat's going on here real quick. Don did this shot that he showed me real quick. We'll go over this real quick before we get to your stuff here. Don is just starting out, and he did this cool little shot here. Let me give it I say this as if I'm ready, but I'm not, because I suck. So he did this. This is one of his early shots here. He's got some Eagle Moss models here, and it looks like he's shooting on top of a screenshot of some sort. So
I have on my old account, my Count Von Doom account, I have many photos that I started out just like this. So there's no shame in starting out like this. There's there's so many good people that came out from starting just like this, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And to be completely honest, as far as lighting goes and everything else, the only thing that I would really change is just the background, just kind of blur it a little bit.
Yeah, give it more depth with the blur. You can do that.
Yeah, that's really about it. The contrast and the lighting, you can see them. You can see both ships, both in the darkness and in the light. This is not a bad photo at all, not whatsoever. I mean, you have to really try to have a bad photo in toy photography, man. It's rare that I find bad photos, but this is especially when you're starting off, man. This is good. This is good starting off.
Yeah. The biggest thing I can comment on this, regardless of what you're shooting, it doesn't even matter if you're shooting toys or anything else, but especially if you're shooting on top of a backdrop like this, and it's something I'm struggling with because I haven't done a successful shot on a backdrop like this. I can't get the light to look natural. But one of the things you have to do is, if you have a light source coming from the backdrop, you need to try to emulate that with some lights on your figure, so that the backdrop is now incorporated into your actual foreground, your subjects that you're shooting. So like this nebula that's behind here, that's a light source. It's a subtle light source, but you want to somehow bring that in. You want to somehow add a light to kind of emulate that light source. Given its placement, it's kind of tricky to do unless you want to layer some pictures, but that's just one of the keys when you're working with these backgrounds that I figured out. I have yet to implement it properly. That's what I figured out. I think it's because I'm lazy. I don't like to shoot multiple times. Once I think I got something, I'm like, I'm good.
Yes. No, I'm the exact same way, and that's a really good point. When incorporating a background or an overlay like that, lining up the lighting from the background and onto your figures can be very tricky.
Oh, I haven't landed it yet. Go ahead.
Yeah. And even not even the lighting, but the color of the lighting. If you really want to go further in depth with detail and realism and stuff like that, I do understand that a lot of people, they tend to glaze over that, which is completely fine. You don't have to be masterful in every single photo. You know what I mean? But if you are trying to progress and go further and just be better than the last photo, it can be tricky, because lighting is everything. It really is. So.
Pause that thought real quick. Let's get Harold in here. Harold's here.
Hey, coming in hot.
Hey,
what's up, brother?
What's up, Harold?
Before we get too deep into the photography part, another stream that I do is about toy talk and stuff. And there's something that happened today. I'm still waiting for what I want to happen, but I want to just show this off real quick while I got the stream here. Ecto 1 is on Big Bad Toy Store. The 1/6 scale Ecto 1. I don't know where Sideshows is, because that's what I'm still waiting on. I'm gonna give it another day, and if Sideshow doesn't have it, I'm getting this one because it's $4 flat rate shipping.
Yeah, even the way that the shipping's going to blend out with Sideshow, you're probably going to end up around pretty close to the same.
Yeah, the only problem is I wouldn't earn points. That's
Right.
that's the thing that's holding me back right now. I want to earn my Sideshow reward points, you know, and this might be out of your warehouse, Andrew. I apologize. Just
No, you guys are fine. That's intense.
yeah, it's a big price tag, man. It's a big price tag, but it's 1/6 scale. So
Yeah.
when and if they
that's
do revisit this line and make more figures, you'll be able to put them in the car. It lights up. It makes sound. It's like I would go over it, but that's not what this show is. You can go look at one of the other streams we've done where we've gone over this car, but this car is it's the creme of the creme. It's just
Nice.
but yeah, they added $200 to the price here, but $204 I guess plus tax for shipping now is what they've added there. But yeah, it's
Because the
it's
car
beautiful.
itself is 40. What is it? 40 pounds.
The car is,
Yeah.
is 70 pounds.
Oh, 70.
So,
Whoa.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
That's heavier than my son.
Right. So
But,
yeah, that with the dimensions of the box, the shipping's going to be crazy on Sideshow, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. But I just wanted to point this out. We're going to get back to the photography stuff now. And with that, let's get into some of Andrew's stuff here. Let's share a screen. Go to window. Where's the window? Window. Ah, there we go. I'm trying to do this all from one window now, so I can not be looking over here all the time. Otherwise, I'm looking over here, and that's not conducive to looking at least kind of towards the camera. But Andrew, what picture would you like to talk over first? And like, I really like this one. This is that's why I used it. I used it because I liked it. You got the kind of light features that I want to be able to catch reliably, and it just worked out really great. Now you only have one light source here.
Yes, this is only one light source. I'm using so the overhead is one loom cube with a snoot on it. So that's how you get kind of the light beam coming down.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a kind of an off-brand light that isn't as powerful as the loom cube, so the light beam isn't dulled out, it isn't overwhelmed, but it is lighting up the left side with the figures. So it gives me kind of an external light source that isn't so strong that it's defeating, my main objective with the loom cube.
Okay. I really like the so you have no bounce card or anything in the front to kind of light up the front side of them at all? Because I mean,
No.
dark there.
A lot of that is I work in curves in Photoshop.
Mhm.
So if something's a little dark, I just give it, a little bit more light balance whenever I'm in there. Just, I brighten it up just a little bit.
Just the curves adjustment layer. Okay.
Yeah. I try not to do that much in Photoshop. Color, a little bit of contrast and curves, and that's it.
Okay. What do you think, Harold? What do you want to say? Do you have any questions about this?
No, I mean, it's like, and the thing is like I what I've always like been drawn to, and with Andrew's stuff though, is just the style of the shots. It's like, I think that's one thing I'm lacking. I kind of get all over the board sometimes, and I love the mood of like his shots, and like this one, especially with that overhead light, it just sets such a really cool mood. I really like that.
I need to take some hints from this, because I tend to use I can use upwards of 5 lights on one shot, and that's probably why I'm losing the aesthetics that I want. I'm like, let's get light everywhere and just kind of fill in these gaps and stuff and kind of get everything lit the way I want it. And, like the Mando shot that I did this week. I mean, that's shoot. hold on. We'll go there real quick and go over that because this also got the behind the scenes. But this shot has got like 5 lights on it. There's the behind the scenes there. So that's the asphalt that I made.
I see that worked out pretty good. I like that.
I see.
It's supposed to look wet, so that's what I'm going for, is that wet asphalt. There's a loom cube with a snoot, and I'm just trying to light up that hand. And there's another light that's kind of bouncing in front of him, just to get the front. There's my haze machine. It was off at this point when I'm filming, but and usually that black board on the left is just to keep the haze in the scene, so it doesn't. I mean, it's going to go past it. Obviously, it can go around that, but it helps build it up in the scene instead of it bouncing all, just going off and
just capture it in that space.
I just got these arms though, the Gooseneck Arms. These are perfect. I've tried several before, and they work for like a minute and then they just start falling apart. These have like the perfect tension on them and they just work beautifully. I love them. I'm gonna have to buy more. But let's go back to you, because that's why we're here.
So I don't want you to feel like the last 3 or 4 photos that I've posted.
Mm-hmm.
I have like 7 lights going on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have at least 5, and it's to really get a full coverage on it. So don't feel a certain way for using 5 light sources, man. I'm using at least 6 in this one.
Okay, all right.
So it's really if you want a nice even lighting, basically if you don't want it to be like a sunset or a sunrise or anything like that, I use quite a bit. There's certain times that I look over my photos and I'm just like, I feel like I overdid this.
Well,
feel like there's too much in here.
CT603 is asking you though, do you use a hazer or vape, or I already know the answer to it, but because we talked about it, but if you want to go over that question.
So there's a couple. I use a different a kind of two different types of smoke. Basically, I use atmosphere aerosol, which I just recently came back to, not too long ago, maybe 3 months ago, something like that. And it was because I started shooting inside again. And the second is computer duster. You know how you can just turn it upside down and the cold smoke comes out?
Yeah.
I was using that for a long time because it's I live down in Florida and it's humid 300 days out of the year. So whenever the cold smoke comes out, it comes out in these thick plumes of smoke, but they're not all over the place, kind of like atmosphere aerosol. They're very direct. Mm-hmm. So if you're doing it to where the smoke is at the ankles, it stays at the ankles.
That's useful,
because it disappears very quickly. Mm-hmm. So I would suggest that if there is some sort of humidity, if you shoot outside and you have humidity, duster does work pretty well. If you're shooting inside, I'm not entirely sure. I haven't been shooting too much with it inside because I use pancake mix for my snow. Oh. And if I use the duster, it's just gonna blow all over the place.
I feel your pain there. I want to use some air and stuff with my snow too, but it's so light it would just go all over the room. So
yeah,
I don't use pancake mix, but yeah.
It's a little tricky. I was thinking about it the other day. I was in my head. I was just like, if I do it with one shot and just get the hand vacuum and clean it up real fast, I think I'll be good.
Right.
I don't think my wife will notice.
Right.
But I wasn't brave enough. But yeah, the atmosphere aerosol has been working a little bit better for the inside, for shooting inside and stuff like that. So I'm again, with the black, like I mentioned with my Black Panther Mezco, I'm just kind of biding my time with using particular things with shooting inside, I guess I can say.
And the atmosphere aerosol is cool too. Like, it reacts a little bit different because if you take it and shoot it straight into the ground, depending on the humidity and stuff, it'll put like a nice little layer right real tight to the ground instead of just blowing it around too. So I've had that work for a couple of photos that way.
There's a couple of different ways to mess with the atmosphere aerosol to get it to do this, or to get it to where it's not going all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So you do have to kind of play around with it.
So I wanted to bring this out because you were talking about your snow. This is the stuff I use here. It's artificial snow, and it's of course I'm working a little bigger scale than you, but
oh yeah,
it would probably work for your scale too. I'm gonna bring up my shot that I used this with here just to show you how it looks in the shot. I'm gonna come back to you, of course, but come on, scroll. That's the snow there. Now, this is a 1/6 scale figure though, but I guess I gotta share it, don't I? There you go. There's the snow there.
Yeah, that looks great.
That's not what I meant.
That looks good.
But yeah, this bag's like $10 or $15 a bag, and I've got 2 open bags of this, and this is an extra one, so I don't really have to use this too much. But it's very light. It's just like, yeah, it's like really, it would be really fluffy snow in your scene. And the nice thing about using this stuff is it doesn't stick really to your clothes if you have clothes on your figures. I mean, you're using Black Series and stuff; they're all plastic. But with the clothes and stuff, you don't want to have to sit there and have like that dusty type smudge when you try to brush it off or whatever. So, and I really like how this sits on his shoulders too.
It's not like taking those Hot Toys outside to shoot them, though, Moz. You gotta do that.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, brave. You're brave for doing that.
I keep it controlled.
Yeah, there's another shot, maybe a close up of the snow there, right there in the foreground.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Just give you an idea. Actually, I think I shot behind the scenes for that. Oh, of course, I did a stupid little intro, so I apologize. Come on, get past the intro thing. So there's the snow all there on the ground and stuff, and
yeah, that looks better than pancake mix.
Well, it might work, is why I'm pointing it out, because pancake mix is great and all, but it does kind of this gets everywhere too, though. So it's really light. So
yeah.
Well, let's go back to you, because that's why we're here. Come on, hit that button. Go. Back. What are you doing to me? Internet problems. So let's go to this guy. There we go. So you made these trees, right?
Yes, yeah. So that is toilet paper roll, or not toilet paper, but paper towel roll.
Yeah.
And some hot glue and some paint, and that's it.
That's pretty good. I did paper mache when I made mine, and that actually looks more like a tree than mine does.
Yeah, like I had mentioned before, whenever you're doing, whenever you use the hot glue and you take the tip of it and just kind of, so what I do is I put the glue on there, I get the tip, and I just kind of just smooth it out, I guess. Spread it out, and as it's spreading, the heat from the tip kind of does the texturing for you. Like, you really don't even have to do anything. You just have to literally just go up and down, and it just textures itself.
I may have to try this on some trees.
If you didn't say that, I would have never even guessed that wasn't a stick or something that you had just, that looked real. Yeah.
I can send you guys the video that I learned it from on Instagram. I still have it saved.
Oh, cool.
I can send both of you guys. It's
Okay.
it's quick, it's cheap. I think I did 8 trees altogether, besides the ones that my son decided to take away from me. I think altogether I may have done them for maybe like $16-17.
Yeah.
And it's it's endless. You can do so many with so much stuff with trees. You can make endless amounts of environments, and even you see how there's some snow on the tree itself.
Yeah, that's the nice thing with the cake mix you're using, because that's going to adhere to that tree kind of nice like that, whereas my stuff, it's not going to really get in those cracks like that.
All I did was I just rolled the tree in the powder, and that was it. It just stuck, and it looks like there's frost and there's snow on there.
That's
it was more of a
trick. That's a good trick.
It was more of an accident, really.
It fell over, and you're like, "Hey!"
Yeah, no, seriously, it fell over, and I put it back up, and I look, and I'm just like, wait a minute.
That's how half the stuff work, guys. We can find out an accident.
Yep.
Yeah, that's like
happy accidents.
Happy accidents. Yes. Yes.
I just want to address Ralph here real quick. Before you popped in here, Ralph, we did show you that the Ecto 1 was on BBTS. I'm hoping Sideshow pops it up here soon. I don't know. They usually get their stuff from Sideshow, so who knows what the hell's going on. I actually emailed, sorry we're back on this, but I actually emailed Blitzway to ask who the U.S. retailers are going to be. So hopefully that will come and get answered here soon. So anyway, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Just want to address that real quick. Now, what are you shooting with here? Let's go over your shots, man.
So, my camera is EOS R Canon. That's just the body. I shoot with 100mm macro lens, but okay. I have the first version of it. So, it's a little older. It does the trick, but there's I run into some issues as far as the compatibility goes.
The EF100 macro, because I have that too.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I have one of those. I never use it.
Man, I've loved that lens since 2014.
Well, but you're shooting much smaller scale. I'm shooting bigger scale.
True.
So I'm using the 32mm, which equates more to like the 50 on this thing.
Oh, so. Yeah. But yeah, I've been in love with that lens for a very long time. So whenever I got my hands on it, it was just pure addiction. I use Loom cubes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sponsored or anything.
Me neither.
Not really looking to be completely honest, because I know that you have to promote and do this and do that, and I mean, if they ever want to send me some free stuff, I'm cool with that.
I want for the Channel Pros, man. I want to rock some of those, man.
Yeah.
No.
So yeah, I have 7 of them. I have 7 Loom cubes altogether.
I'm not trying to one up you or anything, but I have 8.
Oh, hey man, hey, that's.
I got 4 of the little guys, and then 4 of the mini panels.
Yeah, I have 2 mini panels. 3 of the Goes. I think it's the Goes. I don't really remember, and I have 2 of the mini cubes.
Okay.
Well, I have 1, so I beat all of you, so that's fine.
I just love that you can shoot and not have to worry about cables, because I have some cheaper ones that have to be USB powered, and their cables are always in the way. But they are great, like key lights. The powered ones. They seem to get brighter than my Lume cubes, and so I use those sometimes for key lights, because I don't have like other than like this key, which is way too big for what I'm shooting. It's just going to light up way too much area. I don't have like a grid or something to narrow it down. It's just, that's what I have to use. So, they're little $20 lights, and they came with like scissor boom arms and stuff. But they do their job. Just the cables are annoying as hell.
And the mini cubes are nice too, because they're waterproof. So
yes.
And I know, because like Andrew does a lot of stuff with the like spraying with the hoses and stuff like that, and those real effects. So that comes in handy, having that being waterproof.
Yeah, that's actually a really, really good point. I'm very grateful that Lume Cube waterproofs their stuff, because I would have been out of it a long time ago. If they weren't, because using that hose out in the backyard, oh my God, like they would be dripping, like they were just sitting in the rain, So yeah, I'm very, very grateful that Lume Cube makes their stuff waterproof.
So now I can tell you're using like a batter or something here. Yeah, I can definitely tell now. So for you guys just tuning in, this is a cake batter he's using for snow. Or not cake, but pancake batter.
That's cool.
Yeah, it works out.
Especially if you want to get like footprints in it, or it'll probably hold that shape a little bit better than other things that will kind of like spread out and fall apart.
Yeah, I have a hard time doing footprints with my fake snow, but it's only because what I'm doing is, I'll set up the scene, I'll do my footprints and everything, but then I'm dropping the snow, and it just fills their footprints, just like real snow would. And I'm like, so how did he get here? I don't know. He's just here. Damn it. I go back, do that. And of course, that just, changes their pose just enough where you try to stand them, and then you got to spend another 5 minutes getting them to stand the way you wanted them to get. So, what's up, Big Dog Pound? How you doing?
It's kind of funny if you look at the front of not the front, but like in front of the figures, you can see where I had rolled the trees.
Yep. Right here, guys, in case you just need to know. Right here. Here's where you rolled them. Just roll them that way. Just move this way. Actually, is my mouse not on the screen? Oh, no, it wouldn't be, because I'm not on the right thing. Like, hey, look at me. Is it on the screen now? I can't tell. But you rolled it this way. If you can see that, that's great. If not, I usually share my whole monitor, and I'm not doing that, so I don't know if it's showing the mouse pointer or not. Okay. So, but yeah. So this is behind the scenes, and you got 2 lights in the back here, and then you got so you're just getting a feather light from the front. It's giving you a soft light here in this front, right? Just
so it's kind of a combination. It kind of helps give the figure a little bit more light, so that I can have maybe half of a stop on my camera, just to get it a little bit brighter, just a tiny bit. But if you put a light source close enough to the lens and push it into frame, it'll give off this kind of like a glare.
Oh, okay.
Like a natural glare. You can't really see it in the photo anymore, but on some of my other ones you can kind of see it.
So it's lighting up the foreground a bit here, and it's not really evident, but it's lighting up the foreground here. Okay, that's nice. I like that little. I'm gonna have to try that.
It gives it more texture too. So it's not like it's blasting it.
Yeah,
it gives the more like depth, and especially like the foreground.
Yeah. That's
And
something I'm learning here. That's a new trick for you.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't
Cool.
give you this, this spotlight to where it's like you can see exactly where the light source is coming from.
Mhm.
It's a little bit spread out, it's a little bit softer, but it's just enough to give you, like an extra stop of lighting so that you can have a little bit of a faster speed.
All right, I'll have to give that a shot. And I see you got some limb cubes laying around to get the legs lit up and to get them some rim lights around, around the legs where you want, so it just brings them out of the shadow a little bit.
Yeah. The I don't know what happened with me, man. Like when it comes to rim lighting, I'm almost eccentric about it. It's just like I have to get it. I have to get it. I got to put it here. I got to put this light here. This isn't working. I start losing my mind, just trying to get that rim lighting. But whenever I add the atmosphere aerosol, it actually brings the lighting out a little bit more.
Okay.
So
I love it. It was a great shot. So, but you don't really build a lot of diorama stuff. This is like the most you've done for diorama. Did you build some trees? And...
Yes, and admittedly so. Yeah, the trees are probably one of the most intensive diorama pieces I've ever made.
Oh man, I tried to build a house once. That sucked. I destroyed that.
Man, I
remember the staircase, or no, the staircase too, right?
Yeah, the staircase. I was building the Myers house. Yeah. Well, not the Myers house, but the house that Lori was babysitting in, and Michael, right? What was it, Annie? The one with the stairs, kind of stair scene where he's looking down the stairs. This is Annie's house. I was building the interior of that, and the banisters. I broke those one too many times. I was like, I'm done. Just, God.
Yeah, there's some I don't know if you've ever heard of Euler's workshop.
Yeah.
Oh my god, bro, his work is just oh my god, dude, like I can gush over his work all day long.
Him and Metamorphic Customs, I watch both of them now.
It's crazy how they do that. I remember I commented on one of his videos. I was like, dude, this is crazy. He's like, no, it's foam. And I'm just like, I really like this guy.
Oh yeah, he's cool. Actually, because of Metamorphic Customs, and here's a little shout out to Metamorphic Customs here real quick. That's where I had to ask him, because I wanted to make this asphalt, which shows up a lot better on camera when you're filming it. It looks very flat and black here, but it's supposed to be a wet asphalt. I should have brought a limb cube over here so I can get the light on it.
To get that glare, yeah.
Just get that light glare on it. But yeah, just going for that wet asphalt. And he was like, just get some cork, which is what this top layer is, some cork. Use a gloss Mod Podge mixed with gloss black paint. And then I skipped the next part though, where he's like dry brush some lighter colors on it, because I was like, that didn't work out too well. I tried it on some test pieces and I wasn't happy with it. But I just did that, and I added more gloss to kind of give it layers, and just made it look wetter and wetter. And it looks really well when you're shooting subject on it, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to do some more shots. In fact, I'm building crates right now. This is one of 5 crates that I'm working on. This is just I still have to put together the edges and stuff, because it's got supports all through here. That's going to be another layer. So yeah, just making crates so that I can I'm going to pull up the Batman again and have him like in a warehouse or something with that asphalt floor, and do a shot like looking through the crates at Batman.
Oh yeah, that would be sick.
Cool. That's what I'm doing. But
yeah, I feel that I have the ability to do it. I just have the lack of motivation sometimes. So, like I said, I still have those pieces of foam cut up sitting in the laundry room that I just haven't even touched. So whatever, they're there.
Time, man. But I mean, to get the wood texture, which is the part I'm on now,
Right.
Just a little cheap trick, man. One of these on foam.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
run it on here. It'll give you a nice grain on your wood. And that's going to look like wood when I'm done. Just make sure you follow your lines, right?
Yeah, I'm always it's always like, I guess, the simple stuff that whenever I go back and I see other people doing it, I'm just like, dude, why couldn't I have thought of that? You know, it's just like super simple techniques with things that are just kind of sitting around. It's that make a humongous difference.
So when I put some paint on that, I'll put some black base coat on that, and then dry brush some lighter browns and stuff on that. All those, you can see the lines that just carved with the brush, not the really thick lines, but the littler lines. That's all going to get caught up in there. So when you do your base coat, you want to follow the line so it all goes in there. And then when you do your dry brush, you're going to go against the grain, and it's just going to, just highlight all that. So
yeah, I've seen a few other tutorials. I'm following another guy that I saw that was doing that. I hate that I forget their names, but he was showing how to make wood crates, like a treasure chest for Zelda, or Link, and just stuff like that. And he was showing how to texture it, and I was just like, this is brilliant. Like, this is perfect.
In fact, I'll show you a finished piece with my wood. I see, he'll got something going on.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Oh, am I supposed to take it away? Oh, sorry. Well, somebody's not happy.
Yeah, my little one, he kind of loses control whenever one of his favorite songs comes on, or whenever it ends. So yeah.
Sorry, I guess you guys couldn't hear me. I wanted you to take it away, but Harold, you've seen this before, but this is that wood grain.
Cool.
See, that looks fantastic.
This is one of the first things ever made.
That looks.
That texture's all from that brush effect on foam.
That looks awesome.
And they're 3D printed, dot cleats. But yeah.
See, it's stuff like this that is always just like, how much? How much? I got you. How much?
Yep. It's so much easier just to buy it. It's fine.
Yeah.
I gotta reglue that front piece on. Jason fell off it or something. There's something in it. But I use popsicle sticks to reinforce it because I'm doing 1/6 scale figures, and this is thin foam. So.
Yeah. See, even then, to have a reinforcement like that, I would have never thought about that. It would have collapsed.
You think about it when you put the figure on it and it starts sagging. You're like, it's gonna break.
Yeah. Yeah. See, it would have broken for me, and I would have been like, well, that's it. It's over.
We're done. But let's see. So what other shots you want to take a look at here of yours? Would you like to go over? Let me bring you back up here. I'm not sharing it anymore. So, there we go. What we got?
It's really up to you guys. Like I have all kinds of insight on all of these photos that are kind of I don't know, they may be surprising, they may not be surprising. It really just depends on you guys. I've changed my style up. I feel a little bit since the beginning of the year I had a little yep that's the Mezco.
That's the Mezco T'Challa.
Yeah, I had a little meltdown on Instagram at the beginning of the year, and I took a little break. So you
There
know,
you go.
I've just been trying to just refine, really.
What is this guy? This is a cool
So
shot here. I like this one.
so this is Darth Nihilus from Knights of the Old Republic 2. And the cape, I can't remember. I got it off of eBay. I think it was supposed to be like a Darth Vader cape or something like that.
Mhm.
But the body is it's a Kylo Ren body, but it's from the diecast Elite Star Wars series. So that body is like 4 pounds.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's very, very heavy, but the head fits perfectly on it. And the reason why I switched it out is because, oh goodness, I'm gonna try to keep this as brief as possible. But Black Series just destroyed the Darth Nihilus that they released. So I was not happy with it. He doesn't have a cape. He has a cloak, a hooded cloak.
Too short.
And it was not accurate. It was I think it was Darth Vader's arms with the Darth Maul body, and they called it a day. You know, and it's just, it wasn't accurate. It wasn't anything. So and he's tall. He's got at least 3 feet on every single character, including Vader. He's very, very tall. And I had to make my own little kit bashing custom with it. But yeah, he's the Lord of Hunger. You know, he can eat, you know, the life source of planets. So that's why you have, you know, such a desaturated look, you know, and a lot of the times, not a lot of the times, but some of the times, you know, I tried to, at least in the captions, I tried to disguise the snow as ash. So it's more of like this planet is just falling apart with him just simply stepping on it. So that was the main idea. I had to do quite a bit with this one just because it was outside, and
I was gonna ask you that if it was outside.
Yeah, this one was outside. So it was brighter. You know, the lighting was not as controlled. So I've learned quite a bit in these past few months of shooting inside, of how out of control my lighting was shooting outside. Because it can get tricky when you're in Photoshop and you have these huge hot spots, and you're trying to add contrast and this and that. It can get messy in there. It can get messy in Photoshop. You know, you're working on one photo for, you know, an hour and a half, and even at the end of it, it's just okay, I'll post it.
Well, what I like about this, I take it you grab some branches to make trees and you just kind of plug them in the ground here.
Yeah.
That works out actually pretty well though. They look naturally, you know, to his scale and stuff. You selected your branches well. And,
yeah, as crazy as it is, yeah. Whenever I would see some of the neighbors, they would put some tree branches out. I'd drive by and I'd be like, I have to. And I would walk by and I'd kind of look around, and if there were some branches on there, I would just take the whole thing, put it in my backyard, break them off, and I would leave them in the sun so they dry out.
Okay.
So they have more of, you know, a dead look to them, so to speak.
That goes with an ongoing joke in the house now. Anytime we buy something, if it's something we don't need anymore, my wife goes, "Let me guess, you want to use it in a photo sometime?"
Yep.
I'm like, probably.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's always potential.
Yeah, there's always potential, even if it's just, a corner of the photo that it's being used in, or, just something like that. It's the same with me. There's certain things that my wife will throw out that I'm just like, whoa. Let me throw this out.
Yeah, let me figure it out. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, let me try to figure this out. If it doesn't work, I'll throw it away.
Then I'll throw it away. Right?
Yeah.
Oh man, Harold has got a picture he wanted me to share. I think it's for sharing, right?
There was a couple of there was two of them.
All right, let me jump into that real quick, so we can talk about Harold stuff.
Well, no, this is Andrew. No, this is a couple of his like older shots.
Oh yeah, it does say Sunset Doom there, doesn't it?
A couple of ones that I wanted to.
All right, let's talk about this one first. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry. Damn, Don, that sucks, dude. That sucks. So, Harold, what do you want to talk about with this one?
Oh no, I just wanted to share just a couple of my favorite ones. I was kind of just scrolling through and just picked those out. So
okay, but why is it your favorite? What makes you?
No, I like that, and I'm sure that's probably a lot to do with the macro and being able to get super tight on that one trooper, and then the other one's out of focus. I like the depth of that, and then that practical effect of the rain, and even a couple of that. I mean, you get like a little bit of the bokeh, like even from the corner of the helmet on the one where that little light, that's probably like a drop that has some light shining through it.
What, a 1.4 or something here? Some crazy aperture there.
2.4.
2.4? Are you using that 100 millimeter?
Yeah.
And how far are the other figures from him?
They're right up next to it. I think there's a behind the scenes on here.
Oh yeah.
They're right on top of each other.
Oh yeah. Look at that.
Yeah. To be completely honest, I don't really remember why I shot this. I just, the lighting, as you can see, the lighting is coming through a certain way. Mm-hmm. And I love this trooper design. I absolutely love the design. I've always loved it. As soon as it came out, I was just like, I need these. Mm-hmm. And I'm not gonna say anything about the prequel or the sequel trilogy, but the designs of them are amazing. I love the First Order troopers. I love the Sith troopers. I just have always loved the design of them, and as soon as I started weathering them, bringing out all these lines and all these details, I just fell in love with them even further.
I'm worried about how often you're throwing love out there. I'm just feeling like it's kind of bringing down the meaning a little bit.
No, I don't know. I'm very
You're talking about
passionate.
First Order stuff. You are talking about sequel trilogy stuff here. So I'm just
I know. But
I always tread lightly too. It's fine. It's okay.
It's just the designs. You know what I mean? I can rant all day about the sequel trilogies, but I know that there's a lot of people that enjoyed them, and I try not to, just step all over, what other people enjoy too much. So
this is the other shot that he linked me of yours. And this is a great Cody one. I love this. This looks like a hot toy almost.
Mm-hmm. And that weathering, the way, same thing with this one. I love the weathering that he did in it. And
so you added some weathering to him? I'm sorry to cut you off here.
No, you're good.
Yeah. It's a combination of brown and black, brown and black wash.
Yeah.
And I kind of, I don't know. There's certain times that I go back over and I'm just like, dude, you overdid this badly. But you know, a lot of people say the same thing. You know, they're just like, you know, the weathering on this is amazing. You know, he looks great. He looks like a Hot Toys, and I'm just like, all right, thank you. You know, I don't know. I'm my biggest critic, so you know, I don't always see what other people see.
But I've always loved this one, and I think there's a couple other ones that you've done of Cody, a couple other shots of him, and like I said, I've liked every one of them, and I definitely like the weathering in them. But I agree. I see what you're saying. I know what you're saying as far as like you always feel like you can go like too far or not enough, or
Yeah.
even sometimes I've noticed on mine where you could see a fingerprint if you've handled it and it's still like a little wet, you know, and I'm like, I'll see it in a photo and I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful with the visors for that stuff, man. The fingerprints. Oh.
Yeah, that
Right.
too. There was a ton of buildup in the visor, and I started panicking. I was like, oh my god, I'm about to ruin it. Oh my god. So like I took the corner of you know, some paper towel, and I started getting it out, and it kind of just fell into place, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave it. Because I have ruined a couple of figures, you know, overdoing weathering. I completely destroyed a Phase 1 clone. It was, I don't know if I can find it, but it was, when I say overdone it, like, it's an understatement. It was layers on, I think it was 4 or 5 layers of both black and brown. Hold on one second. My son he's making a mess.
Oh, good. That's what they do. So, anybody watching today, if you guys have any questions you want to ask and get some information on stuff, that, you know, of course, that's what we're here for. So, you know, get on that, and then I'm going to take a look at our hashtag this week here.
I think I actually hashtagged this time.
Yeah, I think you did.
At least one of them. I might have forgotten the second one, but yeah.
Oh man.
This is AO.Z. He's doing his Dark Knight Returns Superman here.
You know, I've actually always liked these types of shots where you have a kind of a shallow overhead, and the figures kind of looking up. Like I don't know. There's something about figures kind of looking off or looking up or down that just it just gets me every time. So this one, and I'm not too big on DC. Which, I mean, I should be bigger on DC. I've always, you know, Batman was actually the first superhero that I always, you know, that I enjoyed. But yeah, I mean, this is a pretty dope photo, to be completely honest.
I dig it. I think that we need a little bit more light on Superman, though. He's kind of dark, but other than that, great shot.
Yeah. A little bit of rim light just to bring out his frame.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a little bit of his cape. That's it.
OG fan when Star Wars. I'm on the Disney mailing list for their new housing community. What? All right, Don Prono. All right. Let's take a look and see what else we got here. Actually, oh, what? You did one with some Photoshop effects here. Some laser beams.
That's dope.
That is pretty nice. I like that a lot. And I like how you got the red casting, and that's probably why there's that red here on the bottom of the S and on the shoulders, because he Oop, wait, that's not what I meant to
Trying
do.
to get some to reflect on it, yeah.
Yeah, just trying to get some reflecting light on that for this, which is great. It works great. The only thing I can say that you might want to try here, Ale, is if you're using Photoshop, a blend if on this layer, just to bring out the blacks a little bit more, just creates more of a natural effect with these glows. But yeah, I like it. It's really awesome.
Yeah, I like that too.
The other guy that tagged me, he always tagged me. So here's Harold's, man. This is a beautiful shot.
I was just about to say this is gorgeous. This is beautiful.
That's called lightning in a bottle. Like you kind of catch it once in a while. So no, that was kind of one of those. As I took the shot, I couldn't really see from the glare on the screen, from everything going on with the reflector and everything. And I'm like,
but you just dove in it anyway. You're like,
I was like, I'll see when I get inside and download it. but yeah, I'm really happy with the way that came out.
I love the little flare underneath his chin, and
yes.
Yeah, little J.J. Abrams lens flare that I accidentally caught. Like that was, not necessarily intentional, but it happened.
And this is a Hot Toys you brought out to the woods, and I'll laugh at you if you lost one of his detonators. I'm just saying.
Oh no,
I
carried him like a little baby. It wasn't. Yeah, I was afraid of that. And the tracking fob a long time went back into the box. I'm not even messing with that. So
okay,
no.
Okay. I had an oh shit moment.
Thanks, Mike.
I had an oh shit moment with mine because you saw I did him versus the Terminator, right? And I brought him back, and something fell on the floor as I was setting him back over here, off of the photography table, and I didn't really pay attention at the time because I just checked his detonator. I was like, oh, that's there, we're good. I set him there, and I went to watching whatever, just chilling. And I was thinking, maybe that was his tracking fob that fell off. I go running back in here. I'm looking. I'm like, we got my hand just running over the carpet. Is it here? Is it here? And I was like, wait, well, let's take a look at his box because I got all the add-ons, and I was like, oh, I never took it out of the box.
There you go.
But, so I was like, I don't know what fell off of him, but he's whatever.
Even the little cylinders that are on his belt, and then there's the ones on his boot, like that. Any of that stuff can just
don't typically
disappear.
Go anywhere though. The cylinders,
right? I mean, you'd have to drop it and have it hit against something for it to do anything. But yeah, the detonator.
Oh,
cool. Thanks, OG fan.
UT603 is asking, is that your reflection on his shoulder? Were you wearing red that day?
No, because this is one of the one I have on right now is probably one of the few red shirts that I have, so I don't know what that was even from.
Okay, all right, so it wasn't him, CT603. True story.
I know a lot of people don't like the like this Mando for the chrome for the helmet and stuff like that, but when you get some nice light on them, it reflects nice and it still looks really good. So,
all right. Here's a
nice
6-scale salad. He posted 2 different versions of this shot here. He's got this one and this one. I think I'm more of a fan of this one. And my only problem, this is why I don't usually shoot Mando holding the child, is because that child is just so horrible.
Fake.
They only just gave him like a cloth outfit that would have solved a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Right? No. It's all, you can't grab the child right. You can't wrap the arm around the child right. And it's not the 6-scale salad's problem. It's just the fact of the matter. But I love the shot. I think it needs a little bit more lighting on the front half. And I don't know how you blended this flame effect, but you obviously need to retain the orange from the flame. I don't know where it went, but maybe a screen or a lighting. I don't know. What do you guys think? I've spoken. Oh, we got Russian bots. Paruski. Oh. OG fan was on it. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, I think the only thing is just that flame effect too, just to be able to, I guess, the blend on it and whatever you use too. That's one thing I would never check before, even if it was a lightsaber and it would have that weird black cast like around the effect, and I had to get better about fixing that. So, but yeah, like you said, getting a little bit of orange color in it.
The best way to I've found to get the fire effects for these things is to find a fire on a black background and then just position it where you want it. You can even stretch it out a little bit and maybe add a blur to it, but then just blend the blend mode, set it to screen, and it should just make the fire pop out, and it should retain a lot of its color. If you blurred it, of course, some of the definition is going to go away, but and also if you stretched it, but it's going to retain the color, which is a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing, just another little bit to remember too, is you now got a light source on his backside that's going to light upwards as well as downwards. So part of that jetpack and all the all that stuff to the left of that flame is going to be lit up with that flame color, with like a yellowish, a bright yellowish cast. So a very luminant yellow cast, or yellow orange, I should say, but very very luminous, almost a whitish yellow orange. It's really hard to explain. Just little lighting things you got to pay attention for when you want to add those things in there, particularly from this kind of angle where it's kind of important. Just to make sure that the flame effect fits with the whole scene and doesn't look like it's just added in. But,
yeah, I've always had trouble with fake flames, and that's why I really kind of stay away from it. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Well, it's not easy. It's not easy. I've tackled it a few times, and sometimes work out better than others, but I've generally been able to keep the color. I'm going to go to my stuff real quick. So that's not an example. Let's play my goblin ones. There you go.
Yeah,
So
that looks awesome.
So I from the underside, I use like a yellowish orange light just to, and granted the lighting on the underside is not quite appropriate to where the light source is, but it's close enough that you're not distracted by it.
Yeah.
And then of course the one thing I did forget to do, I think, all I think I did with this flame is stretch it. I think I forgot to blur it. But this is just a flame I found on a black piece of background. It's just a flame effect. You can Google it and usually find those. And from there, you can set your blend mode to screen and generally get everything out. If you don't get quite all of it out, what you can also do is then mask that and get rid of like edges or something, because you've moved it around and you don't want to make it as big necessarily as your whole picture, because the way the thing sits, whatever reasons, you can just mask out the edges of the actual image so that you're not getting those and it doesn't distract the viewer. But flame effect's not too bad. The orange coming into the smoke there, that was from my actual lighting, so that was just a happy, I of course was going for that because I knew I was going to add the flame for the glider. So just lighting that up, because the fire from the glider is going to light up that smoke. So
no, yeah. I love that the orange smoke. I think that actually brings out more detail to the flame than I'm sure that was even previously intended. Whenever you go in, you start editing, you start putting in color and contrast, it's just like, wait a minute, I didn't mean to do that.
Well, that was intentional, lighting up the smoke like that. I blew the smoke several times to try to get the kind of a plume that would look like it's coming from the fire.
Very nice.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to nail it just right, because that smoke would be coming from closer to the glider than
Gotcha.
just right there at the tail of the fire. But it works, it could be he's flying out from an explosion, just something though that ties it all together. So whatever works for your thoughts. But
no, it looks great. It came out very good.
And the other problem is this figure actually can't stand on this glider like this, so he's actually standing behind it and just got his hand on it. So he's not actually on the glider at all.
Yeah, I have a lot of shots like that I have to hide the fact of the matter that my figures can't sit a certain way or pose a certain way, so they have to kind of just have to
you gotta fudge it.
I guess almost manipulate it,
So I did two separate shots, one without the goblin and one with the goblin, and that way I could just mask the goblin out of the shot from the bottom half of it, just mask him out. That's what I did. So But again, we're not here to talk about me today. But since we're looking at the fire effects, I just wanted to go over kind of how I did it. And I mean, even mine's not great, but you know, it's more or less where you're going with it. So that's why I mentioned it. Was that you, H Green? I don't want to bring up a message.
No.
Okay.
Shit,
I'll
I
look at
don't
that in a
think
minute. Who that's from? That could be, you know, my porn distributor or something. I don't know. Not that I have one.
Surprise.
Here's AO.Ed's The Dark Knight, and I love the horse behind here too. This is awesome. You guys can pick that over while I start looking at this message here.
Yeah, the subtleties of this are nice. You know, the lighting, the overhead lighting, that's actually on the top of his head. And the color, it's like an orange red coming from the right side. I've actually always been a fan of that type of lighting. You know, if it's like a blue or a green lighting coming from something else, it just gives the figure and the photo itself just a little bit more character, a little bit more oomph. You know, lack of a better phrase, I guess you can say. But those are the types of things that I try to incorporate into my photos, and it just doesn't work. So whenever I see photos and it works out like this, I'm always a fan. I'm always a fan.
One thing I've noticed here is if you're shooting a plastic figure, something you may want to invest in if you're using an actual camera is a polarizing filter. For this, I think it's the right. Is it MD filter, polarizing filter? It should eliminate a lot of the glare from the plastic, so you'll get more just light and less plasticky glare. It'll make it look a little bit less toy, if that's what you care about. So that is the right filter, right?
Polarizing filter. It takes some. It does a lot of different things. It helps with color. It helps with glare. It helps with a number of different things. It's a good investment, and it's relatively cheap.
Yeah, you can get it for like $20.
And I haven't done it too, but Andrew, you've done like the dull coat on a lot of the figures too, right? Like a dull coat sprayed on. To take out some of that shine from the figures.
Yeah, that's my go-to. I do a lot of matte spray on most of my figures. Even my my wrecker. I've had some people ask me like, is that a custom head? You know, I'm like, no, that's straight out of the package. I just I just put on a matte coat, and that was it. And it will transform your figure completely.
Because you did it with the Ahsoka, right?
I did it with both of them because the red orange plastic that they use, it makes them look greasy. It makes them look like, you know, a 14-year-old that hasn't showered in 6 days. You know,
right?
Just grease face. And as soon as you put the first coat on, it completely changes them.
By the way, guys, I would recommend this for Hot Toys. If you're Black Series and stuff,
no. No.
I'm just listening to you guys going, I would never do this, but I.
Yeah. For Hot Toys, I would definitely go with the polarizing filter for sure.
But yeah, that sounds great though. I mean, doesn't that affect the movement though? Using a matte, I guess.
No,
doesn't affect the movement. Doesn't dry and.
For me, no. It's and that was a huge concern the first time around when I used it, because it started drying and I'm just like, is this gonna be like paint lock to where like the joints are just locked in? Because I've gotten some customs. I got a custom K2SO, and I almost broke the knee because it was paint locked. And so the concern was definitely there, but no, as soon as it dries and you're able to touch it, it bends just like it regularly would. So, but yeah, I had very much the same concern.
I don't know what Don Prime and OG fan are talking about. It's probably for the best. Yeah, I like this shot though. Again, AOZ, I know I have a hard time lighting the shots properly too, to get that that perfect amalgamation of from the shadows and then also lit up so you can see what you're looking at.
Yeah,
Batman needs a little bit of light, but it's just going to be a bit of trial and error. I'm really bad at it myself. So, where is the window I want? Let's see what else we got here. We went over this one last week, so we're done for this week. I think that's one of mine. So yeah, I guess we can talk about this shot since we're here now. So this shot, I had a hard time. I was trying to get his visor lit up better, but I couldn't quite nail that due to the light would have to be in front of the camera to get the glare I needed on that visor. And then of course I had to take it into Photoshop and recolor this glove. This is one of Darth Maul's gloves actually. To get that open hand, because Mando doesn't come with open hands.
For all the accessories they have, there's always one that's missing.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a relaxed or open hand or anything to do that. So I took one of Maul's black gloves and I put it on Mando and shot the picture, and then I brought it into Photoshop and selected the fingertips, and then I did a hue saturation layer effect where it made a mask of it, and just recolored this the best I could to kind of get it more of that yellowish orange. It turned out more gold though, but what can you do?
Still a good fit though. I've had to do little tiny adjustments like that in Photoshop with just colors and this and that, and it can be a pain to get them to match up and to look a certain way and this and that. I thought honestly I thought that was his regular hand. I would have never known unless you said something.
So again, I'm my own worst critic, just like you said you're yours. So it's bugging the crap out of me even now. I'm looking at it going, ugh, gold finger.
Yeah.
James Bond,
but it gives it the effect of the light shining off of it too, that the light's coming through and hitting it. So
that's pretty much where I'm at. I'm looking at where the other light source is coming from and the color of it. So that's pretty much I felt that it came out nice. It was.
Well, I was able to maintain the shadows from the actual photo, even though I did the colorization, because I also used that blend it feature, which if you double click on the layer on Photoshop, you can go in there and select the blend if option, and it'll help bring your actual detail back in with the color that you got on top of whatever you're doing. So really
small little tricks that Photoshop
and then of course
provides.
the eyes, I had to Photoshop here too on him. When the Terminator, what is beeping at me? Stuff's beeping at me. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is. I apologize for it in advance. But this shot was a lot of fun to shoot. I really wanted to do something with my new asphalt thing, but I didn't quite light that enough. It doesn't quite come out here, so that's kind of what I want to do tonight, is hopefully pull one out a little bit more. Although for tonight, tomorrow's post, I'll give you guys a heads up on what tomorrow's post is going to be. But I have to change my share. Let's see. Stop screen, share window. Oh, what? Where'd it go? It's open. Oh, wait, hold on. Cancel. Now we try it because it's minimized, I think. Sure. Yeah, there we go. Boom. Because tomorrow's Predness Day, and this is a Pred Alien. So,
Nice.
Very cool.
it's a Hot Toys Pred Alien. It's impossible to get for any good price. So, what do you think there? This hasn't gone up yet. What do you think, Andrew? Ah, my stuff fell.
So, the first thing that I keep getting drawn to is that basically like that corner wall with the light coming out of it. I love that because it cuts the contrast and it gives it more depth. And the second thing that I keep going back to is sorry, my wife just messaged me. The gold, like the kind of gold yellow lighting on top, it gives it a lot. It brings out a ton of detail, tons of detail, and I'm definitely a fan of it. I think that the lighting is very well done. You see a lot of different details. The tail coming in and out of the shot. The creepy hands. I have this thing about hands. There was, whenever I was in art school, there was this student and she did this creepy shot of her sitting in this chair that they found in a dumpster, and they brought it into the studio, and her hand was just like this witch hand. Like it looked like it was the length of her head. It was huge. And ever since then, hands have always just been something that like I focus on. Whenever I see a hand, I'm just like, ooh. So
it's one of the easiest things to sketch. Even when I would practice a lot, that would be the one thing I would always do, because it's like you have a hand right there, and then do that, and then you accentuate details and stuff like that, and it is it's a cool thing to do. But I know what you're saying.
And you know, hands can give you a lot of different emotion. You know, it can give you a lot of different everything. So just there's a lot about this photo that I like a lot.
Well, this is actually more than one photo. This is kind of stacked, I guess, because that orange is from a different shot. The lighting was there and I'd played with it, but I was trying different techniques. So for the the one shot that got the dome lit up the way I want, because I definitely wanted the dome to show. I wanted that skull in the dome. I mean, that's the whole reason why I went and bought a second one of these. This is the second one I bought, because the first one had battle damage. You couldn't see that skull at all. It was just like where the Predator's blades had gone through its skull there, so that's all you saw. But with this one, you can see the skull through the dome. So I bought a whole second Pred Alien. This was expensive, just so I can get this clean one. And I always want to accentuate the skull inside the dome whenever I shoot it. But what I did is actually, this one was lit up more of a bluish, and then I stacked it with, because I think I turned off that other light, that light coming in from the left, for the shot that had the smoke I wanted. So I figured there's a couple ways I could do it. I could try to mask in just the smoke, or I can just mask in the lighting I want on the Pred Alien by stacking them on top of each other and just doing the mask on that. And that's the way I went about it, is because I also wanted to bring that dome out a little bit better, because the shot that I ended up using, it still didn't quite have the separation where the eyes were, the light that wasn't hitting right. So I actually had a third shot where I kind of brought it down a little bit more just to get that separation. And if you look closely, you'll see that it's not actually it's more of a bluish color. That's the color it come from. So
it's a nice blend. I do the same too. All of my photos are anywhere from 2 to 3 photos stacked on top of each other. I have one with the smoke, one with the snow, and sometimes the snow that I'm looking for is good on one side, but there's none on the other. So I have to take another photo and, just blending and this and that. So definitely definitely know what you're going through when you have to, stack photos and blend this and take this out and leave that in. So
Yeah, I try not to do it. I try to get the shot that I want all in one shot. I mean, occasionally though, I have to go in there and get the colors and the lighting that I want, because I couldn't quite nail what I wanted in all one shot. Either I didn't have the places where I could put the light to get the light, because like maybe the light would have to be in camera, and I'd have to fix it up where I have to take that out of the camera, out of the shot and stuff like that. So in this case, yeah, I couldn't get it right in the one shot. And in fact, I need to go back in here because this is bothering me now. I need to mask that out. That joint is killing me. Kill it. I gotta use a rubber stamp tool and get that out of there. So I'll do that later before I post it. But this will be posted tomorrow. It's my Pred Alien for Predness Day, which we do on Wednesdays typically.
No, it's cool. I like that cool tone though in the back. It just kind of gives it that creepy vibe, but I like the warm color on the figure to pull out the detail.
Yeah, I agree.
He's a hard figure to shoot, or well, she's a hard figure to shoot in a dramatic sense, because when you think about the movie she's in, I mean, you can barely see her. The lighting is horrible in that whole movie. It's all really dark. So you got to keep that in mind if you want to try to make it look like she's from her own movie. This just goes to my head. And then, just trying to bring out just the key areas, because you don't want it to look like a toy. I never want it to look like a toy when I'm done with it. So it's tricky. Of course, when I look over at her, she looks great. Doesn't look like a toy. But when I go to shoot it, I don't know what happens. Just gotta sit there and play with it. So Mike Hawes is asking a question, and I see they've been talking about stripes in the chat. Did you see the NECA, the Thing dog alien that is going to make for some great shots? And Storm Collectibles 12-inch Mortal Kombat figures look great. Look pretty good for their first 6 scales. I haven't seen any of those yet.
No, I haven't.
I'm a little sad because I love the Thing and I want 1/6 scale the Thing figures. I really do.
That would be pretty intense. I'm a huge fan of the Thing. I don't have any of the NECA figures. Or was it, did NECA come out with those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they came out with the 7-inch ones.
If I saw any 1/6 of the Thing, that would be awfully tempting. Very tempting. Because
I want it.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I want it. I'm sorry, you can keep going.
No, I was gonna say the same thing. I would want it, like the amount of details. The amount of details.
You want it too.
Yeah.
Somebody...
He's like, and one day it'll be mine.
yeah, seriously. But yeah, the amount of details that are put into 1/6, I can imagine, a Thing figure. That would be intense. That'd be a lot.
Well, Hot Toys just did the Pennywise, and I did a nice crossover with that earlier last week.
I just recently, I saw one person, they were doing a little unboxing on an Instagram short, and I was like, when did this come out? So yeah,
Pennywise, man. I this was my first pre-order with Hot Toys back in the day when I first started buying Hot Toys. I bought some already, but this is the first pre-order I did, because everything else I was buying Predators and stuff. They were already out. But yeah, this. And by the way, guys, if you're in the chat and you're paying attention, the person that did the Pennywise is the person responsible for the Peacemaker head sculpt.
Oh, nice.
Well, it is nice, but then again, it looks like their license will not let them make him look like John Cena. So.
Okay, I got you.
But yeah, Viva. I can never get his name right. Viva. Hold on, I'll pull it up here real quick.
I just want this so I can torment my wife. Because she would She would absolutely hate having this in the house.
Yes, mine would too. Even when we're going through like HBO Max and I land on the thumbnail, she's just like, change it.
Yep.
But yeah, this Pennywise I think was great. This one actually surprisingly didn't get a lot of love on Instagram because Instagram algorithms are horrible lately.
Yep.
I don't know what's wrong with them.
Yeah.
I think this one turned out pretty good. I don't know why I didn't get any love. Got like no love.
Yeah. I've recently just started posting at a completely different time because of the algorithm, and it's had a lot better of a result.
Well, what time do you post? Share with me.
I post at like 9 a.m., 10 a.m.,
Yeah,
something
you
like
post
that.
at 10.
Yeah, I post extremely early in the morning. I used to do a toy pop session. I don't know if you heard of the toy pop session, but they were basically like sessions. You know, that it'd be a specific tag for the night, and you go through and you like all the photos. But it got, oh my god, it got pretty bad. You know, you'd be liking photos for 45 minutes straight.
And then that's when Instagram says you're a bot and it locks you out of your account.
Yes,
So that's
you know,
Or you fall asleep and completely forget to post your post at that time of night.
that
Because
too.
it's 11, especially when they switch it to the 11 o'clock time. So yeah,
Yeah.
I've shared some things on that recently, but I've started to kind of go away from it too. But
Yeah, and I've noticed that it's kind of, it's kind of dying. It's not the same that it used to be.
mm-hmm.
And I started posting. I did a collaboration with 4 or 5 other people. With it was the Bo-Katan photo, and I posted it by itself. It wasn't in one of the toy pop sessions, and I noticed that it was doing just as well as a photo that was in the toy pop session. So I was like, look, I'm just gonna take a chance. If my photo doesn't do that good out of the toy pop session, I'll just go back. And they did. They started doing better outside of the toy pop session. So I was just like, all right, I guess I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do have to give credit to them. They are a gigantic reason why, I have the following that I do, why my photos, have the reception that they have, and, the outcome that they have is because of toy pops. But just with how everything is changing on Instagram, it's just dead. It's dead now. Toy pops is dead. And it's sad to say,
I went through this phase where I was getting like, to 1,000 to 1,500 likes pretty consistently, and now I'm down to. I mean, if you look at my Instagram, it's like my best figure or my best shot of late is this one, and that's like 700. Everything else is 200. This one actually is close to 3. I think it just passed 3.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough right now. My last few photos, I was pretty surprised. It took a few days for them to get up to the numbers that they're at. But I was surprised that they were doing that well. But I have other photos. I have a Wolverine photo that like didn't even hit 300. I was just like, damn, you guys really don't like Marvel, do you? Shit, man. I guess I just won't do Marvel anymore,
You get your fan base that likes all the Star Wars stuff that you've done, and then you get pigeonholed into that, and that's
Pretty
like my Batman photos that I did. I mean, they weren't like anything great, but I mean, they barely got any likes. So, but I still had fun doing it.
One thing, and you can't get out of it. It's really weird. The reason though why I left this guy up is because this guy is in front of a screen, and we were talking about that earlier. And I still didn't quite land the light separation here. In fact, one of the other problems I ran into with this is my screen is damaged, so I got lines I had to blend out of it up here at the top. And the other thing is this screenshot. This is the best quality I could find, so I tried to add some grunge or whatever on top of it to kind of get him kind of degraded enough to match the screen, but it still didn't quite work. which is why I later came back and just did a close up.
Oh, that's I'm
the same
digging
shot. I just came in with a different color grade and zoomed in. But
yeah, it's kind of crazy that you bring that up with the screen. I tried to do a shot today with a TV screen in the background. Oh my god, I was getting all kinds of discoloration, lines, and this and that. And I actually put it on my Instagram story. And I had one person message me back about it. And sorry, my wife just got home. My son is losing his mind.
Hi.
But yeah, I got one person that messaged me back about it, and it was something about flicker. I had to put my flicker effect on, something like that.
Okay.
And apparently it takes all that stuff away. And
is that the camera, or is that a flicker effect on the TV?
On the camera.
Okay.
Yeah, and he also said it has to do with the shutter, but he didn't tell me, how fast or how slow the shutter had to be. So I have to go back and ask him about that. But I've had a lot of trouble shooting in front of screens, which is the only reason why I haven't.
Yeah, I would love to find out more on that. In fact, next week we're going to have Trevor, aka 1/6 Shooter. He was supposed to be here this week.
Nice.
But he had to reschedule, so he should be here next week. And thank you for stepping in last minute. Although once I saw your stuff, I was like, I need to make room for you because I think I'd already talked to you.
No worries.
Can you come in a week early? So
they changed my schedule last minute. I was supposed to have Saturday, Sunday off. And I work at the soccer stadium, so I'm I had to work the event. It was a season opening. Ugh. But
are you like Ted Lasso? Were you Ted Lasso? I love that show, dude. It's so great. You said soccer, so it triggered me.
Yeah. But I had to work that. It was super last minute. They're just like, oh, you get Monday, Tuesday off. And I was just like, okay, whatever. And then when you message me, you're just like, can we do Tuesday? I was just like, actually, that works out perfectly.
Nice.
I can definitely do that. So, the scheduling lined up very, very, very nicely. So it's no problem, man. I don't really get a chance to do these too often. As you can tell with how much I talk, I don't I don't have much I don't have many friends, so I don't really get a chance to talk too much. So
that's why I'm here. That's exactly why I'm here. No, I just appreciate you being here, and obviously, like, it's just cool because you and Moz are probably people that have kept me taking photographs of my stuff that I probably at one point was like, I don't even care about this anymore.
But I remember having those conversations.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like just obviously the toy talk and stuff and the collecting part of it, and with Moz, and then and the photography and that with you. I mean, it's just like I said, it's cool to have you on here, and I'm happy he was able to get you on. So no. As soon as you messaged me, I was just like, oh, dude, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And just ever since that was that toy Olympics.
Oh, right.
Remember that? Dude, ever since then, you know what I mean? I'm just like, dude, Harold has always been like super good to me. You know what I mean? So, it's very much appreciated, man. I definitely consider you and it's rare because so many people come and go on Instagram, but I definitely consider you one of my rare friends on there. So I'm very grateful.
Dude. Well, I appreciate that. And that's the thing. I mean, like what we were talking about with likes, earlier in the algorithms and stuff like that. I think the people that I've met on there and that always have conversation with, that even if I don't get a comment from 50 other people, it's you, you know, and a few others that
I'm
get
bad at
from
commenting. I'm just
and
telling you right
yes.
now. I'll like, but I'm bad at commenting.
Yeah.
Right. But even just seeing those likes out there from those people, I said that's all I need to see, and I'm good, and I move on to my next one, and that means a lot to me. So yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah, I always, you know, I'm the same. I can like, but a lot of the times, you know, I have to be like, you know, I have to remember to comment and stuff like that. But whenever I see your work, you know, it's always, I always enjoy seeing your work. You know what I
Right.
mean?
No,
And
thanks,
and
man.
so many people, like, I've actually gotten called out. It's so weird, man. I get strange messages from time to time. I have to start screenshotting them. But they will try to be like, dude, why are you always like acting like you care about all these other people? I'm like, what does that mean?
Right. What's wrong with you if you're asking me that? Is what you
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
my comments are fewer than I'd like, because usually I'm on my laptop looking at Instagram, and I don't know if you've tried to comment via a laptop as opposed to the phone, but the emoji system is horrible on the laptop or on the computer. So, and I like to put like the smiley face and the fire and, you know, the thumbs up and stuff, and I'm like, it is just so not intuitive on my laptop.
Mhm.
And so if I'm on my laptop, you're just going to get a like, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
If I'm on my
I
phone,
see that.
then maybe I'll comment too. But for the most part, I'm just hitting the like button. You know, be consistent. So it's not like I didn't like it and I'm just kind of hitting like. No, I liked it. If I stopped to like it, then I liked it. You know, that's
Yeah,
know,
same.
I would comment, but I'm on the damn laptop probably. So,
Same. Yeah. If I comment and I like it, it like I'm not just sitting there trying to be like, oh well, you know, I'm cool with this person. I talk with this person. I just want them. No, like, I genuinely like that photo. You know what I mean? And I have some, like, I'm primarily like, I'm a horror movie junkie. Like, I can't get away from it. I can't get away from it, man. You know, from Hitchcock movies all the way down to, you know, modern day Jordan Peele movies. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
just ordered some Fright Rags today, actually.
what's that?
Fright Rags t-shirts. I just ordered some of those today. I ordered RoboCop from the original '87.
Yes.
And I ordered the Poltergeist one they had, which was like
Nice. Yeah.
it was a from the movie. It was a scene where the mom's trying to get in the room and that ghost comes up in front of the door. You know, the one with the big arms, and she's like going back screaming at the door.
Nice.
So I was like, I gotta buy both of these shirts. Like,
Yeah.
done.
And
but
but
it was part of the horror movie thing.
I have a lot of different styles, you know, or I'd like a lot of different styles, you know. I like, you know, action movies, horror movies again are my big thing, you know, but I like so many different styles. So when I see them in different photos, you know, it's just like, yes, you know, like, I like seeing people utilizing these different types of styles, even though if you see what I shoot and what I post, you know, it's you know, the contrast is night and day. But that's the whole point of it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I like these different things because they're different, because they're not what I'm doing normally, you know. So it's again, you know, whenever I comment or I like a photo, it's because I genuinely like those photos, you know.
Well, we're going to be wrapping up here in like the next 12 minutes or so. We're going to do like the 2 hours, and we're going to stop.
Yeah, no worries.
While I got everybody here, I want to go over what we're doing Friday. It'll be the first of the show. And by the way, something I've had here queued up like on the screen here. Mike Hawes, because you're saying you don't have a lot of friends besides Harold. He says you're now friends with him. He says we're all
yeah, there we go.
now. So,
Awesome. That's what's
That's
up.
right. That's what it's all about. Like I said, and everybody talks about it, especially like geeking out and finding that community and finding Moz there. I mean, that's the thing too. It's like that YouTube channel and those guys. I mean, it is like a group of friends hanging out talking about this stuff. And I mean, that's really what it's all about. So
yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I don't really get a chance to really talk about this stuff with other people. So when I do, it just, you know, just word salads. You know what I mean? I just have so much to say. Whenever a new horror movie comes out, or I find like a new like like a YouTube horror. It's just me and my wife. You know what I mean? There's a guy that I work with that I just recently found out that he was a horror movie junkie.
Oh, nice.
And I couldn't shut up. I was just like, have you seen this? Have you seen that? And it's all YouTube stuff. You know what I mean? Like on YouTube, if you guys remember, it's called There's Something in My Apartment. And it's more or less of like a lesson in jump cut editing.
Okay.
And this dude, he's a master, and they're very short. They're like two or 3 minutes each, but it's like 6 parts, and they're just everything about, and he does it on his phone. Everything is done on his phone, and it's just it's masterful. It's awesome. The Back Rooms, I don't know if you guys have seen The Back Rooms on YouTube.
I don't watch a lot of YouTube other than like people's channels and stuff. So
got you.
I haven't seen a lot of horror stuff. I got Shudder though, so then I'll watch some Shudder and stuff. But there's one thing I wanted to point out though before we actually start saying goodbyes or anything.
Sure.
Fridays, I'm going to show you the video. This is the trailer for this Friday, or the intro for this Friday. We're going to be doing first appearance Fridays if you're comic book fans, and this week is Peacemaker. Here's the little trailer I made. I know it's rudimentary, but I made it. I'm going to share it with you. Enjoy. That's it. That's all I have.
That's cool.
Yeah, so, man, that's better than what I do.
My comics though. That's like my comics, and I just added the first appearance I had that come up like that. So that's like a little section of my comics. So every Friday we're gonna go over first appearances. We're gonna start out with Peacemaker because Hot Toys just came out with a Peacemaker. The show just ended, and I figured he's a first appearance a lot of people don't really know. I didn't know until I started researching for this particular episode his first appearance. So most of my information is going to be wiki, but there will be others where I'll be very hands-on and know a lot. I think we're going to have, right now the plan is to have Fat Batman on with us. He's a comic book guy. I need more comic book people. Harold, are you a comic book guy?
No, I wish I was. You're
dead.
Yeah,
Andrew?
I know.
I used to be. I stopped around 2009, 2010. The last I guess arc that I read was Annihilation Conquest.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
But yeah, I'm so far out of the loop. It's not even funny.
I'm looking for a big DC geek. I'm more of a Marvel guy, so if we know anybody who's big on DC, especially if they can help fluff out this Peacemaker wiki information I'm going to have, that'd be great. So if anybody's interested, message me or leave a comment, and we'll get up with you. So it'll be Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern, and it'll be once a week. So I don't know what next week's going to be yet, but this week is Peacemaker. So we'll see what else drops. And I just wanted to do some comic book stuff. I have a whole room of comic books, and I never really get to do anything with them anymore. I've gone solely into the toys and the photography bit, and I was like, let's stop trying to chase the whole figure review thing every 5 minutes, and let's branch out to the other stuff I collect. I was even thinking about doing Steelbooks, but I don't think I have enough to do that. I mean, that's a new thing too. I start collecting Steelbooks. I don't know if you guys watch movies, but
yeah, I was thinking about picking up a few because I collect Blu-rays.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I see a Steelbook, I was just like, that you're gonna be replacing all the other movies that you bought with Steelbooks.
Oh, that's what I've been doing, man. Everything that comes out, I try to get the Steelbook of it now because I realized when I was looking on eBay for something or another, I was Googling something or another, and I came across the Ghostbusters 2-pack 4K Steelbook. It's got Ghostbusters 1 and 2, right? eBay wants $250 for that. I bought it for $9.99 at Best Buy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Maybe if I just make it a point to buy the Steelbooks, they're a couple dollars more, but if I need to resell them later, there's apparently a market for them. So
There is. Yeah, definitely on eBay. Yeah, the Steelbooks are always pretty high up there.
I actually have a duplicate of the second Venom movie, the new Venom. I have a duplicate Steelbook of that. So I ended up getting it for free. So I might give it away one day. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it.
I don't want it to be another thing I have to explain why I have it. So I just no. Yeah.
I hear that.
And I've done so. I mean, it's like, and really with my schedule, with my job, it's like just the easiest thing is digital, and I just kind of watch whatever's on there, and that's that. But
that's the most recent one there.
And it's all shiny too.
Well,
that part of it, yeah, that part of it, the collectible part of it, like that is pretty cool. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's my most recent one. I got the Halloween Kills one too, which sold out immediately. So the movie was but it's a cool Steelbook. So
I'm a Michael Myers fanatic. I think I'm one of the rare few that like the Rob Zombie ones.
Yes, you are rare because
But I enjoyed Halloween Kills a lot. So, but I can understand. I can understand why people were kind of just, there's some weird stuff that went on in there. Like that whole comedic cut that was, everybody's figuring out that he's alive, and there's some weird stuff, but I liked it.
The moment the Rob Zombie one failed me was when they humanized Michael. I mean, you probably hear that a lot too from people that don't like it. The fact that they gave him a backstory, which alone, if it wasn't Michael Myers, I was all about it. But since it was Michael Myers, and Loomis had so eloquently put it, in the first movie, that he is just, what he was, it was never was a factor to him anymore. He was just pure evil.
Yeah.
And that kind of gets ruined by Rob Zombie going, here's a little kid with white trash family, and that's why he's special.
I could see it. I totally understand. I totally understand it. So and I can't blame you for it, because it's a valid point. It's a very valid point.
But yeah, and also I felt that Malcolm McDowell phoned in his Loomis performance. That was another big problem I had with it. I just really hated his performance. When you looked at Donald Pleasance, who was drunk most of the time he's filming, and then you look at Malcolm McDowell and you're like, all right, which one of these guys is drunk? Because Loomis brings it home, not Loomis, but Pleasance brings it home, man. But Malcolm McDowell, I just feel like he's phoning it in the whole time. I'm just like,
I felt that Rob Zombie kind of had a tendency of bringing that out of people, just like, just do it however you want to do it. Like, no, dude, don't, no, give them direction, So no, I can definitely agree on that. I didn't really like Loomis in the Rob Zombie versions.
My favorite part of the whole series, and I'm gonna sound like a pig for saying this, was that we got to see the adult Danielle Harris. Just saying. Just saying. I'm gonna leave it there.
That was
mic drop.
that was interesting. I do remember when I saw her in the first Rob Zombie Halloween, I was just like, who is she? Wait a minute. Wait.
Like,
and I had
from Halloween 4.
Yeah. I went back and I was just like, wait, this is kind of strange. This is a little weird. But yeah, that was an interesting choice.
So yeah, those are the few things that I had big problems. I love Tyler Mane. I love his rendition of Michael. In fact, I met him once, and unfortunately, I had the celebrity foot and mouth moment where I was like, the movie sucked, but I loved you.
Yeah.
I was like, movie was bad, but you were great. I loved the brutality you brought to Michael. It was awesome. You know,
Yes.
how big and
Yes.
brutal and just messed up you were. But I think he didn't listen to me after I said it sucked, which I opened with. So
I think I should have omitted that part. And
I was like, if I could put my foot in my mouth right now, I would. But I
uh,
can't. I'm just gonna go away now. I just literally am not that flexible. But anyway, guys, I think we're winding down now. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Is there any other questions from the people watching today? Anything else you guys want to know about before we go? Or if you're watching this in the replay, leave a comment down below. We'll get to it the following week and talk about it, discuss it, whatever. But with that being said, Andrew, what do you got coming up, man? Anything you got planned for your Instagram or anything, or do you have any YouTube aspirations? Anything you want to tell the audience about?
No. As of right now,
Well,
I have
I
I have three images that I'm gonna be posting this week because I'm only posting about 3 times a week now. But besides that, I really don't. I'm a pretty simplistic person when it comes to my photography. I like to kind of get in and get out, with honestly, with minimal work. Most of the work goes into just framing and setting up.
my next shot's got a few hours. I stuck at 5 of these.
But besides that, no, I'm really just trying to refine my work. That's all it is. So that's pretty much it. Unfortunately, kind of boring.
All right, Harold, you got anything going on, man? Anything coming up on your Instagram you got planned, or any YouTube stuff? I know you're looking at maybe starting your own thing. So
yeah, well, I'd probably hold out for a little bit longer on that. And I want to try to make these times, and
I like having you on myself, Harold.
Well, I know. Well, I like to, like I said, my schedule is brutal, and especially in the landscaping business this time of year, it's starting to ramp up for us too. So obviously, I like to try to get on here when I'm able to, and I want to focus on that. I have that test photos that I had shown you of the Chirrut and the Stormtrooper. I want to work a little bit more on that. And
I want to see that Chirrut, man. That you're gonna use the angle that we went over.
I've got another one. I'll send you. I don't think I sent to you.
You only sent me 2, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do have one other one, and then but yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I've got going on.
Rock on.
So,
well, guys, with that being said, we're gonna get out of here, and I'm gonna find I made this nice little thing, to play when we leave. So we're not just sitting here going, has it ended yet? Because that's what we were doing. That's how behind we were. But what was that? But anyway, guys, CT603, Don Prime, Mike Hawes, everybody that's been sticking around towards the end, I appreciate you for sticking around and enjoying this. And Mike Hawes, if you got me on Facebook, message me about your comic book Love and Knowledge, man. I know you said you usually work Fridays, but maybe we can work something out. I don't know if I have to stick to Fridays. Just there. But yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks guys so much for watching. And with that, we're gonna get out of here.